Exactly 4 minutes past 7, and this is Smart Means Business. A very good morning. How you doing? Today is exactly the 16th of November. We are definitely past the midway of the month, and definitely as we're heading towards, the Christmas season. As we're winding up there, definitely, what does that really call for you as a person, as an entrepreneur, and as somebody that has something to pursue in life that really calls for something? Well, I'm with Masika Time in the studios this morning on this cool, sunny morning, and I believe it's quite very beautiful. It's not showered today, and that creates really a very amazing, beautiful atmosphere. How is your morning? How are you feeling it?
The morning is good, actually. As I was coming in, there was a lot of traffic, along the way. But I like the fact that there is balance in the weather. It's rainy. The next morning, it's a little bit fair. For people to get where they have to work from. But anyway, it's a beautiful morning. Madam say good morning, bonjour. Wherever you are in Rwanda, Tanzania, Burundi, Africa, wherever you are, we welcome you to Smart Means Business. My name is Masika Time, every day here from Monday to Friday, and we are mid the month of November. So can you imagine? I don't know how far you've really seen this month, really, because we are now into just a few days, just 14 days. I think we shall be wrapping up the month of November, getting into the festive season. So I do not know how people are really prepared for this, because this November has been really challenging for most business people. I'm not getting positive, results in this year from them. Positive, comments about this. But hoping when we come to the end of the month, I think there's going to be a little bit of change.
Okay.
But please get inspired regardless of whatever happens. It is affecting everyone because we're in the recovery year, so definitely that is expected.
Okay, absolutely, very interesting aspects in there, and definitely we're having a very interesting topic, the discussion, which is going to be relying on renewable energy in Uganda, and of course taking a look at a landscape which is gradually growing as compared, over the years, adaptation to other differences of energy has been increasing in our country, Uganda, and of course this will be backed up by the Renewable Energy Conference, which is going to be actually broadcasted live on Smart 24 TV, as of course it's going to be an expo of some sort. Majority of the people will be exposing the new innovations, because literally it's all about taking a look at the cutting edge technologies which are very relevant when it comes to renewable energy. But of course we need to get to understand that Uganda's renewable energy is actually characterized by a growing number of projects and initiatives which are driven by the government's commitment to that is diversifying the country's energy mix and reducing its reliance that is on fossil fuel. So that is quite deliberate by the government in all its decisions in terms of that. But of course, we've been so much accustomed to the hydropower. Of course, there are quite a number of, some renewable energy sources in here: hydropower, geothermal. There is the aspect of solar. There is biomass, which is growing at a certain pace right there. But of course, hydropower is definitely the largest among all these. The largest source of energy in Uganda, accounting for about 80%, installed capacity. And of course, we see that the country has actually a number of large hydropower that is plants, including the Nalu Valley Station, of course the known one, the Jagali, and of course Kira Power Station, and so many more others which are out there. And of course, they provide significant amount. But all these combined give us will come to 80% of the energy generated. I mean, we're talking about renewable energy, and of course now coming in down to the geothermal, which is another promising renewable energy source in Uganda. Definitely, the country has a number of geothermal areas, including the Kibero geothermal area, the Mobuku geothermal area, and of course taking a look at the Katonga geothermal area. The government is actually currently developing these areas. That is in order to develop and generate, electricity as a result of that. So there is a little bit of diversification, despite the fact that we are so much still accustomed to the hydro.
Oh yeah, we are still accustomed to the hydro, but of course,
because if it takes 80%, so literally that means we shall get to see that the 20% is shared by the geothermal, biomass, and solar.
Which is actually not bad, but of course now that we are calling for climate change and of course for a greener environment, I believe within the conferences that have happened over in the course of the year, I believe there's going to be change, because people are adapting actually. From the use of what is it called, charcoal, to the use of briquettes. So because they're even cheaper. Exactly. Yeah. So definitely, I believe in years to come, it's just like Rwanda in the city center. I don't think you can be able to access charcoal. You have to use entirely gas.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're conserving the environment with the little resources that they have. The little that they have, they're trying to conserve it. Yeah, so definitely Kenya came in earlier this year and took an initiative to hold a climate change summit, which has been a game changer for them. Yes, and of course yesterday we read about tree planting day in Kenya, which is a good initiative, and of course Dubai is also doing the same. And of course, and of course Kenya is working to protect its forests, which is important carbon sinks. Yes, they got these trees that tap carbon in the air, and of course the US is planning as much as they can so that they can buy some. So definitely every country is fighting for themselves. They're fighting so that at the end of maybe 10 years they could go back to the time where people used to breathe fresh air. And yesterday I saw a Nissan car in Uganda, an electric vehicle, Nissan. It was quite beautiful, and I was like, wow, if we could have, away from the Kira EV that we have, there's also a Nissan. So definitely in just a few years, I think, we're going to be bringing in electric motorcycles. And of course, the initiative will be on government to create the charging power places. Yeah, and of course, with the infrastructure set in place, that is going to be working out for us Ugandans. But of course, I was watching the news, and the speaker was actually complaining that why is it that we usually, when it comes to infrastructure development, mostly on the roads, we are usually active when visitors are coming around. That is when
usually active. Yes,
when the visitors are coming. It's getting the festive season. People are coming from abroad. Different families are coming from abroad. So they're working tirelessly, and of course the kind of traffic that is created there is inconveniencing. Everyone has been complaining about that, the different traffic that is inconveniencing travel within the country. So we don't need to panic. Let's take our time. If we are set to host the AFCON 2027, let's not start by fixing the potholes. We need to have clear roads, because that pothole, I don't think, if the quality is not really proper, it's gonna go back.
Definitely, it will. Okay, absolutely, very interesting aspects in there. But of course, when we talk about renewable energy and of course change related to climate change, last time we had a report about some industries which have not actually been taken into consideration, but in some sort of a way they have an impact on the climate change. And one of those were the music industry. Taking a look at the concerts that are held in right there, and the more the people gather in there, what they let out, the carbon emissions, the carbon dioxide that comes out is kind of destructive to that. But anyway, all this because we get to realize that aspects of renewable energy are all related to climate change. But of course, as much as we adapt into the renewable energy, we need to also understand some of the activities that we are actually doing as mankind, and they're actually having an impact on the environment, hindrance in some sort of a way. And also trying to see how we can leverage on the minerals that we have, because definitely these mining aspects also have an impact to the environment, but on how we can mitigate the mining such that it doesn't actually affect the environment further.
And of course, with the growing number of industries that are coming up, you realize that those that actually have impact on the environment as well. The fumes that come. Yes. So definitely, I believe maybe if there is a way, maybe they could tap all that carbon in the air and I don't know if
all those are
can become,
technologies.
all the technology could be put in place, because I mean you'll be on the road and the fumes that are coming out of a certain vehicle are really disturbing. It's just there in your face and you're really wondering, you cannot even breathe.
Absolutely.
You can imagine that on a daily or for you, you as a person on a passenger every day, you're sucking in all that. It's not only about the environment, but also our health.
Absolutely true. And of course, that is likely to lead to unlikely diseases and infections probably in the future, and that is going to call for further investment when it comes to health services. And if we are really not prepared, chances are high that we can actually lose potential manpower as a result of that, who could help in building up this economy. Well, but of course, still further, if we to take a look at the economic effects, the renewable energy is having actually a positive impact on Ughanda's economy at a certain extent, because the development of renewable energy projects is creating actually jobs and stimulating investment at the same time. Of course, we also seeing that it's also helping to reduce on the country's reliance on expensive imported, that is the fossil fuel. But of course, also taking a look at the air quality and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. And this has been made possible with the new cutting-edge technologies that are actually into existence. And we've seen this in quite a number of laboratories, people developing up air quality machines. I know of them actually doing that. But of course, this is all very, very, very amazing. And I believe that today on the Renewable Energy Expo, there is going to be quite a lot of those cutting-edge technologies. And seeing, it's just not about them being put on the expo, but is getting to feel their impact even after that expo, and how we really see they are reducing. I mean, it's the renewable energy, but it's also having impact onto the environment at the end of the day. That is quite a very important aspect too in here. So Uganda has over 800 megawatts of installed renewable energy, that is capacity. And of course, when we see renewable energy accounts for over 20% of Uganda's electricity generation, that is a fact to really take a look into. And the government actually has a target of generating 100% of its electricity, that is from renewable energy sources by 2030. You see that. But of course, despite all these policies put in place, there are quite a number of hindrances that are in here too. And of course, here, as we can take a look at high upfront costs of renewable energy projects, there is lack of access to finance for renewable energy projects and limited technical expertise in renewable energy development. But of course, we shall be taking a look at further of these insights later on to the show towards that is at 9 a.m. I'll be joined with a guest, of course, from the Ministry of Energy. She's an energy expert, as we shall be breaking down most especially on the government policies on making sure that there is effective implementation of renewable energy policies, and of course getting to see the aspects of the limited expertise in renewable energy development. Why? Because there is quite because we cannot talk about renewable energy and we don't talk about the new cutting edge technologies to aid that. Well, more of those discussions are going to be coming up shortly, but for now, let's get into what's happening in the press. Well, of course, I have the division with me, and Master team is going to be taking us through the Daily Monitor. And now, when I take a look here, we see Museveni blasts the United States of America, UK over, that is the travel alerts. Of course, the embassies came, and of course, we are warning people about the possible terror attacks that way. And now, of course, taking a look at employment here, Makere job seekers forging university papers. Yeah, that is quite very...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's been all over. And further in here, I see the fast track digital number plate. No, fast track digital number plates, says President. Yes, fast track the digital number plates as a result of that. Yeah.
Well, of course, with me, I have the Daily Monitor, and of course, making headlines is Makerere University, and of course, they're said to verify degrees of its working alumni. So definitely, if you're from Makerere University, just know anytime soon they're going to verify if it's a fake. Those who are not able to, finish up with school, but they're surviving in surviving in the working environments. Really, people do all the way it takes to get to work, really.
I can see.
And of course, here for those that are into the month of November, scientists decode why grasshoppers are no show. So this is
grasshoppers
no show. They're not showing up.
Not showing up.
So definitely, you can grab yourself a Daily Monitor if you want to have. If you've been in this business, November is my month. I'm going to be harvesting. I don't know if they harvest grasshoppers or they catch them. I do not know. Yes, so there could be a reason.
But you can rear them.
You can. Oh, okay. They're just like locusts. You could actually. Well, of course, 70 orders CMI out of Entebbe, and of course, Karamoja tables education reforms. And of course, here, UN harboring terrorists, says the president.
UN harboring terrorists?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. As I proceed further in here, of course, I see something here. Do not, President Museveni still says that do not delay electronic number plates. That's according to President Museveni. Of course, with a number of reasons for that. And of course, as we also take a look at Uganda wins another global investment award. So you can check on page 6, you can find further details of that. And animal feed dealers to face 4 million shillings fine or a 2-year jail term over fake feeds. Now, of course, also the IGG, DPP given 3 months to investigate cooperatives maize. So you can find out that. And of course, reports show that over 60 billion Ugandan shillings that was expended for cooperatives was actually swindled as a result. And of course, First Lady cautions medics on behavior. What is the behavior? So you can really find out that. And of course, anthrax breaks out in Ibanda district. Ibanda district. Uganda-Europe convention to drive trade and tourism. So you can really find that out and what are the anticipations of that, and maybe finally Uganda's rainfall to decline. Cattle corridor was hit.
Well, of course, here in the Daily Monitor, government moots new physical plan development. Well, the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development is expected to launch the new National Physical Development Plan 2020-2040 next month to cater for all infrastructure development across the country. There has to be a Senate infrastructure development. Yes, standard. Because that is why actually I think there's been complaints when it comes with the Ministry of Local Development. Some districts wanting a cityship ticket to become cities. One of the reasons is the infrastructure. The buildings are in poor state. So there is need for a change. Once you're a district and getting to a city status, definitely there has to be a difference. Yeah, that is why some of the districts that were proposed to get to have a city status, they weren't able to get. Yeah, because there is lack of physical planning.
Oh wow!
In the district.
That's an amazing insight right there. And of course, I can see here Naduli advises youth to embrace government initiatives. That's quite key for all the youth right there. And of course, as we still continue, quite a number of here, and of course a few advertisements here as we proceed along. Yeah, now in the comment section, I believe there must be something quite interesting in the comment section. Now, of course, this one says why project planning needs complex minds. So it doesn't need an average mind. In other words, it needs a complex mind. And now, of course, I can see here somebody who says saying that budgeting process is participatory and inclusive at the same time. And why all government departments should actually embrace digitalization. This is, of course, way to go. It's a song which has been sung all over. And now, of course, here in the vision business, 2023, much better year at the stock market. Now, this is according to the Uganda Securities Exchange boss, that is Paul Buiso, says that. In a way, how true that is. And of course, quite interesting is the very year when we now have two telecommunication companies competing, on the stock market. I think that's one of the aspects that makes it really beautiful.
And of course, PDM managers stuck as locals change enterprises. The parish development model supervises across the number of districts at crossroads as some beneficiaries switch to other enterprises as opposed to the to those that qualified them to be enlisted for the program. You know, with the different scans that have been happening with PDM, people like to know.
Yeah, quite a number.
I think we could try elsewhere. Yeah, you cannot expect someone to, they're expecting 100 million and then they're giving a bribe of 500,000. And at the end of the day, they have to give back 1 million. Yet they got 500,000. It's not really fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for the morning call, and of course for now, the morning call and the press briefing. We're going to take a break, and when we return, we have something from Caribbean, South Africa, and the international updates. Stick around.